So we have with us Abhijit Avasthi, best known for his work on Fevicol, a brand that has continued to associate with him from his Ogilvy days. Now we all remember how there were heartbreaks and widespread speculations when he decided to call it quits at Ogilvy. Seldom has someone's departure from an agency created a stir of that magnitude. Moving forward, today his baby Sideways Consulting has completed 6 years. To be precise, Abhijit Avasthi has spent 6 years doing exactly what he enjoys the most, problem solving for clients. So welcome Abhijit and thank you for joining us here.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That was another kind introduction.
Abhijit, we were chatting a few days ago and you said a company like Sideways doesn't exist anywhere in the world. Now that's a big claim. I would like to start this interview by asking you why you believe that.
Why do I say that? Okay, we started Sideways actually with the ambition of applying creativity, right brain thinking to different aspects of a business, not just advertising and branding. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And today, if I was to evaluate all that we do, right from building out payment apps to coming up with new credit card offerings for clients, to building social network platforms, to designing products, to building loyalty programs. I think if I was to see the spread of work that we do, including the fact that we launched our own products, which are toys, mass manufactured, reimagined toys and games, and of course continue to do advertising and branding. I think this width of work, I doubt there's any company in the world that does.
Okay. And I think you'd also mentioned that less than 50% of the work you do is advertising or typically making ads. Now you're creating applications, social media, social networking platforms. You're developing credit card offerings for MNC banks, launching your own IP. That's a range of things. Now, was that always the plan, or was it something that the agency maybe evolved into over the years?
I would say that it's a bit of both. Yeah, we knew that we wanted to do many things. We knew to do many different things, we would need people with different skill sets. But we weren't clear that exactly what all we would be doing. So therefore, I would say we knew that this is the direction in which we want to go. But whether specifically one day we will build customer value propositions for credit cards or whether we will create our own toys, no, that I don't think we had that kind of clarity. Also, what's happening is that we are also discovering the strength of our team and the possibilities with each passing month. So we also realize, a team like this with the processes that we have evolved can also do this. And therefore, in fact, that's what I really enjoy about it. That now I think, 50, 60 case studies and a variety of projects that we have done. I have the confidence in saying, okay, you know what, any problem, any opportunity, bring it on, and I'm certain we will be able to solve it.
So in that case, give us examples of how you're doing it and which are the brands you're associating with in this journey.
The way Sideways has developed, the way things have unfolded, we've had the fortune of working with at least 80, 90 clients across, big established companies, whether it's a Google, Flipkart, Unilever, P&G, Pidilite, Citibank, Marico, etc., ACC, the regular lot. Or we also very plugged into the startup ecosystem, whether it's a CureFit, Nykaa, Urban Company, lots of fintech work around Neo, Multiply, etc. What has happened is because of the way in which we engage with these clients, we end up doing a variety of things for them. And I'll give you some examples. I just mentioned a company called Multiply. Multiply would launch very soon. It would be India's first social network for investing. Now, for them, we built out the entire app, including giving product features, UI, UX, and a variety of things. And we hope to do a rather interesting normal launch as well. On the other hand, we've done projects with credit card companies where we have reimagined loyalty programs, as well as developed new customer value propositions for those credit card companies, namely Citi and a couple of others, which are, people's relationship with spending has changed post-COVID. So understanding that and then coming up with customer value propositions. Yeah. So stuff like that we have done. We've done an interesting project for Marico, which is they wanted to do something in the high-end hair care space. So right from identifying what ingredients should go into the product to how do you spin a story around the ingredient, what could be the brand proposition, how do you disrupt structural packaging in the category, etc. Lots of stuff we've done for them. We're working currently with the Pidlight in one of the categories where they want to reimagine some very basic arts and crafts materials. I can't give out more details than that, but again, it's reimagination of a kind which people haven't seen before. So there's that. And then, of course, for example, is the toys division, which is our joint venture with Reliance, where we are reimagining board games and toys. So, the spread is absolutely humongous. And of course, good advertising does continue. So, for example, we launched the Kia Motors brand in India. We do a lot of advertising work for Nike and a couple of others as well.
Okay. But when clients come to a typical creative agency, they come to them because they have proven themselves in a particular line of work, say video ads. Now, when it comes to problem solving, now every single one is going to be very diverse, very different, and a new challenge. And it might not necessarily even be video linked. So do you have that kind of manpower needed to solve it? And how do you inspire faith in your clients? Say for a tech specialist company like Google to come to Sideways, to build an app. What is Sideways bringing to the table here, which Google doesn't have?
Okay, so I put it this way. I think I'd answer this question in 2-3 ways. One is, yes, we have a very disparate range of skill sets. So there are technologists, engineers, product designers, management consultants, brand strategists. So there are people with very, very different skills, and they are experts in domain. For example, the guy who heads technology for us used to run his own technology firm, which used to, it's built IoT platforms for Hitachi. He's built the secure email server for ICICI Bank and many others. The guy who leads our product design team used to work in an industrial design studio in Munich, and we pulled him out from there. So they are specialists in their domain. So that's one part. Second is, the way we inspire confidence in our prospective client partners is by taking them through case studies in depth. And, over the last 5-6 years, we've slugged a fair bit, and now there are at least 50-60 solid case studies across a variety of issues, whether it's solving for market share issues, whether it's building out new kinds of tech platforms, whether it's coming up with new kind of loyalty programs. There is a lot of proven case studies on the table. So we take the clients through those. I think your last question, why did, for example, Google Pay engage with Sideways on a project around onboarding the next round of cash users? Of course, nobody gets tech like they do, without doubt. But I think what Sideways does really well is, I think we sit at the sweet spot of deep customer understanding, domain expertise, and creativity. Why do I say that? One thing which gives us a lot of confidence, and I think informs a lot of our work, is that we do all research, immersions, diagnostics in-house. Nothing is outsourced. So that way the team on the table knows exactly what's happening on the ground. For example, for the Google project, not only my strategy people, but my head of tech would sit behind Kirana stores for hours on end, observing transactions, payment methodologies, why are people using cash, when are they using it, etc. This, I think, gives a lot of richness to the work that we do. Secondly, like I mentioned, they're all domain experts. They get that domain really, really well, whether it's tech, whether it's product design, whether it's innovation, whether it's strategy, whatever it is. And third, of course, there is the madness of creativity in the air. I think this sweet spot is something that Sideways offers uniquely, because you'll either have specialist tech companies, you'll have specialist research companies, you'll have specialist advertising companies, but very often, and I used to hear this quite a bit earlier, is a lot of generation loss used to happen earlier, when different departments would speak to each other, or the CM or the problem holder would try to engage different entities. With Sideways, you get everything end to end, everything happens under one roof, and therefore there is no generation loss. And I think that's really powerful, and most clients who work with us have realized that, and which is why they come back to us again and again.
Okay. But from what I understand is, when you if you're looking at timelines, the one for creating a video may be small, but finding the root cause of a problem and solving it properly may take a lot of months. Now, in this era where most marketers are looking at very short-term goals, do they have the kind of patience and time to wait that long, as opposed to just putting out a brand campaign and boom, see what happens kind of thing?
So, this has been one realization in this new avatar of ours as Sideways, which is, most mature marketers and clients, they get it. They understand that while it takes maybe a month or two to turn around a video set, but to build a tech platform, to come up with a kind of a product innovation, yeah, to solve for a complex business problem on the ground does take 6 months, 9 months, 1 year, 1.5 years. And I think they get it. In fact, the fact that we tell them this will take about a year gives them the reassurance that okay, you know what, these people get it. They are not just saying, oh, I'll turn it around quickly in 45 days. So I think they understand it. They know how much time each kind of a problem solving takes.
But is it still a big process of making various clients understand that such an agency exists, for which the starting point of the discussion is not creating an ad? How difficult is it? And from what I understand, you also don't pitch. You have a no pitch policy, right? So how difficult is this overall?
It is tough. Okay, I'll be honest about that. And we made it tougher for ourselves because we don't pitch. And there's a reason for that. It is not out of any arrogance. Yeah. It's just that over the years, the processes that we follow, the depth and the rigor initially, right, from the immersions, etc., to the frameworks which we use to solve for those problems, are not amenable to a pitch process. It's not, I'm sitting in a desk and let me just quickly think of some ideas and put it out there. It's not that. And that's the reason we don't do it. That's one. Secondly, when we sit with them and take them through, like I said, those case studies have turned out to be very powerful for us. They then realize, okay, yes, these guys are doing something different. And I try and explain to them, I tell them, what, the way Sideways has developed, we are like a mix of a consulting firm, a design house, an advertising agency, a tech solutions firm, a product design firm. So, when they see this flavor come alive is when they say, oh, yeah, that's right, this is different. And what's been reassuring, to be honest, has been to hear the statement quite often, which is, oh, I wish I'd met you guys earlier. So, that's quite reassuring, I would say.
Right. And there's this one last question before we end this conversation. Today, once again, we're seeing a lot of independent agencies joining a network. Be it Amit Akali's What's Your Problem or Ashish Kajanji's Enormous. Now, what are your thoughts about this? And would Sideways be open to that at some point in time in the near future?
No chance. Absolutely not. For a couple of reasons. One is that I think what we're doing is so different that most networks won't be able to solve it. Yeah. There is a lot of experimentation in what we do, and rightfully so. Should somebody come and take an investment in us, they would expect certain kind of returns. They would want us to follow a certain path, but we are not that. The reason we've been able to build ourselves so differently, do this kind of work, is because we've chosen not to go about it the conventional way. And any network which comes with set processes, set expectations, it's going to be tough for them. I don't want to lose my independence because it lets me learn a lot, do a lot of projects. I think that's been really, really helpful. And third is, I always think, why should there not be a really amazing, creative, intellectual company out of India? Why? Why does everything have to be, it's a people's business. Why should the top companies only be network agencies? We are Indian, we get Indians, and let's build something out from here. And the joy of building a unique company from India, which is out there to help startups in India, regional companies in India, and others, is something else. And this, at least, I don't see myself partnering anyone as of now.
And that's really good to hear. And I hope Sideways gets that global recognition soon. Thank you so much, Abhijit, for speaking to us. And we know that you are not somebody who talks to the media very often. So thank you for taking time out for this.
Thank you so much, Neeta. Thank you so much. See you. Bye-bye.